On episode 229 of the 40 Plus Fitness Podcast, I discuss saboteurs and what we can do about them. You can find the full show notes for this episode at 40plusfitnesspodcast.com/229. Have you decided you're ready to make a change? To reclaim your health and fitness? The 40 Plus Fitness Podcast is here for you. I'm your host, Alan Meisner. I'm an NSAM certified personal trainer with a specialization in corrective exercise and fitness nutrition. Let me be your coach as you find your way on your health and fitness journey. All right, let's go. I was in a meeting the other day, and one of the gentlemen in the meeting is taking time off this next week for spring break. And, you know, our kids are grown and out of college now, so there really isn't a spring break for us. But it really kind of turned my mind on to remember that it is starting to warm up outside. It is starting to get close to spring. It is, kind of that time of year where we're going to want to, show a little bit more of our body. We're going to want to be a little outside a little bit more. And so maybe you have a little bit of weight that you want to drop. And I have a plan. It's called Surefire Results for Weight Loss. And this program is guaranteed to help you lose the weight. So if you want to drop about 8 to 10 pounds between now and when the summer rolls around, please do sign up for Surefire Results for Weight Loss. It's a 28-day program. I guarantee results. If you don't get the results, I'll refund your money, plain and simple. So there's no risk to you, and you have everything to gain, including losing your weight. So if you're interested in that, please do check it out. Go to 40plusfitnesspodcast.com/surefire today. So in talking about saboteurs, I've actually done a webinar on saboteurs before because it's such an important topic. Jim Rohn, who was a famous motivational speaker, had a quote, and I'll read it to you here. It says, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." And so I want you to kind of think of that. And when you think about that, don't think about it in terms of, okay, I've got all these really smart people, or I got all these really nice people. So I'm the average of them. And that's probably true. But I want you to think about it in each facet of your life where you're looking to try to have some success. So yes, in being a good family member or whatnot, it's good to have other people around you who are good family members or good examples of family men and family women. And when you're looking to do something successful in business, it's important to have people around you who are also generally interested and are being successful in business. But when we start talking about health and fitness, I think that's an area where many of us struggle, particularly when we're a little older and we don't have the time. When I was in college and even before college, I just loved hanging out at the gym. Yeah, I was one of those guys. And it wasn't so much that I had all this free time. It was just those were effectively some of my friends. And, we would go and we all worked out generally the same time because we were all in school. So we're working out between classes, and that was just the time for all of us to be together. And so you get to know these guys, you're working out, you're spotting each other. And so the people I was surrounded with at that point in my life were extremely fit and healthy and excited about being in the gym and doing their thing. And I can tell you that made the world of difference. I don't really have so much of that relationship with anyone today, which is kind of interesting. I do have friends who are into different things like running or whatnot, but it's not something that we share close-wise all the time. I try to do more of that on Facebook. That's why I have the Facebook group. If you go to 40plusfitnesspodcast.com/group, that's part of my effort around me to have a group of people who are really engaged and really interested in their health and fitness. And if you kind of want a little bit more of that in your life, that's a great opportunity for you to do it on the cheap because it's a free group. It is closed. So, I'm not just letting anyone stay in there. I want to make sure it's folks that are there to support and kind of be those pillars, kind of be maybe one or more of these 5 people in your life that are giving you kind of this overall support. I also recently hired a personal trainer. I've known the guy for a number of months. I'd met him many months ago, maybe well over years ago, I guess, when I break it down. But he and I have been talking more and more over time about stuff. He knows I'm also a personal trainer, but I said, okay, I do want to get stronger. I've got a Spartan Super coming up. in June, and I want to be in good shape for that. I've got some things going on in July with a festival, and I want to be in good shape for that. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and hire this guy so I can spend more time with him. I can have someone in my life that's going to motivate me and keep me going and help me get stronger. So even a personal trainer needs to try to do this, to try to make sure that we have the right people in their lives. Now, today, though, I kind of want to switch the script, and I want you to start looking for those folks that maybe you don't want in your life because they're cutting into your mojo, and maybe you have 5 people around you who are not like this. And so I want to talk about a few of them. Now, the first one I want to talk about is the peer, the friend that is going to always be pressuring you to do something else. So they're going to try to keep you from doing your workouts, or they're going to offer you the sweets, or they're going to say, hey, let's go out for a beer, or, how about we go watch the game and do this? You know them. They're good friends. They're fun to have around, but do you have too many of them around? Is it a point where the peer pressure to fit in with them makes it difficult for you to say, no, I'm not eating that sugary sweet, or, I'm just going to have water when we go out to the bar on Friday night, or, yeah, I'll go watch the game with you, but I'm not going to eat all the greasy food, and I'm not going to eat, drink all that beer. I'm going to try to get a salad, and I'm going to try to be a little bit more astute with what my eating and what my goals are here. So look at what pressures being put on you by the people around you to do the things that you don't want to do. And I know this is hard, but you may have to start at points in time saying no to them if you really don't have the willpower to say, no in the moment. You may have to just say no before the whole thing starts. And I know that can be difficult, but this is your life. This is your health. You're trying to get this back. So for a period of time, we might have to make this sacrifice and spend less time with those peers. Sometimes, and this is the second category I have for these, sometimes it's individuals that are very well-meaning. And so you may be saying, okay, I've cut my sugar way down, and I'm feeling pretty good, and I'm doing pretty good, and maybe I even want to try something like the intermittent fasting, or maybe even go as far as to go into ketosis. And I've experimented with both of those, and they are very effective for fat loss. If they're done right, they're perfectly safe. But you're going to have people around you that, all being well-meaning, are going to say, well, that's crazy. That's dangerous. You're going to have a heart attack. And they may keep on you. They may pester you to the point where you just feel uncomfortable with it. But you have to recognize why you're doing what you're doing, and you may not be able to change their mind. It's sort of like an argument on Facebook. It's kind of futile. So unless you just like arguing on Facebook, pretty much better off just not even acknowledging it. But in the case of these folks, letting them know that you appreciate them for caring, but letting them know that you need to try this path for yourself is really the answer to the question. Okay? Again, this is not one that's easy, but I think this one probably easier than the peer pressure one, because in peer pressure, you pretty much just have to start staying away from people. At least with folks like this, you can have that initial conversation and just say, let me go down my path for a while. I'll be careful. I'm not hurting myself. And if I notice things are not going the way they're supposed to, I'll quit. And that's all you have to say. Acknowledge what they've said, that you've heard them, and then go down the path that you intended to go down. Don't let them sway you to a point of saying, okay, maybe they're right. Maybe I was wrong. You've done your research. You've set your path, and you need to stick to it. The next one are these folks I call backstabbers. And they're the ones that compare themselves to others all the time. And if you start showing success, they're going to be the ones that try to derail you, because they actually don't feel good about themselves if the people around them are better than them in any way or fashion at all. And so they may actually weigh a lot less than you, but they start seeing you lose weight and they can't lose weight. Now you're basically treading on them, and in their minds, you're making them lesser of a person. And it's not logical. It's not something that you can say, okay, well, I understand why they feel the way they're feeling. I mean, obviously, I would feel. That's not the truth. The reality of all this is that there are individuals in your life that don't want you to succeed. They want to keep you where you are. because that's their paradigm. Their paradigm is, okay, she's that person, she's that person, she's the crazy person, she's the mama person, and that one's the heavy person, and I'm the skinny pretty one. And when you start getting down to being the skinny pretty one, you're breaking the dynamic of the team. And some of the individuals on that team might not feel comfortable with that and might actually try to derail you. Don't let that type of thing happen. Recognize that you have to go your own path and you have to live your own life. And many times, when you're starting to notice these behaviors of someone trying to derail you, and they may try to do it in the nicest of ways of suddenly they're offering you food, suddenly they're offering to spend time with you, so you miss workouts, that type of thing. So just recognize when someone is actually acting against you. So we've kind of talked about 3 different people. There's the person that really doesn't know that they're doing anything because they're just doing their thing and you have the pressure to be with them. So that's just a kind of a natural peer pressure to want to be like your peers. Then there's the folks that are very well meaning and just they don't understand what you're doing. So they're trying to get you to rethink it because they don't understand it. They don't believe it's healthy for you. It's not fitting their health and fitness paradigm. So they're wanting to advise you to change your path and not go down that road. And then there's the backstabbers that just truly don't want you to succeed because you're breaking their mojo. You're making them feel uncomfortable because they measure themselves on the basis of other people. And if you can go down the path of saying, I'm going to measure me against me, I'm going to go on the plan that I have for me. And if there's some situations where I know that I'm going to get derailed significantly, I have to avoid those situations and potentially avoid some of those people. So again, as Jim Rohn said, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time around. Now, I'm going to ask you another question, and you can answer this to yourself. You don't have to tell me, but are you sabotaging others? Are you one of those people that you think I should be in someone's top 5 friends because of health and fitness? And when you have that mindset of wanting to help others along with helping yourself, now you're building something, and getting people in your life that are just like that and you being like that for them is going to give you a good, great base. Just like I said, when I had the gym buddies that always made me want to keep going back to the gym, try to start building that foundation around your health and fitness. Join a running club, start playing on a tennis team. When you go to the gym, go at the same time, and don't be afraid to say something. Say hi to someone at the front counter or say hi to one of the trainers and kind of get to know them a little bit. It's not that you're going to spend all of your time there socializing, but just kind of knowing that there are friendly people and people who know you in these places while you're doing these things is really just going to make it that much more enjoyable. If you're looking to lose weight before it gets summertime, I do have a way that you can kind of have more of me, and maybe I can have the honor of being one of your 5 people that you're spending more time with as a part of your health and fitness journey. But if you'll go to 40plusfitnesspodcast.com/surefire, you can check out the Surefire Results for Weight Loss program. There's a Facebook group associated with this one as well. So it's a great opportunity for you to interact more with me. Get on the program that I use with most of my clients to help them lose weight. And I guarantee that if you follow the program, it's a very easy 3 lifestyle changes thing, you will lose some weight. So go to 40plusfitnesspodcast.com/surefire and join us today. Next time on the 40 Plus Fitness Podcast, I discuss the essentials of weight loss. Until then, have a happy and healthy day.